The part of my new playlist Sql for Beginners. This is the first video, Lesson 1, Introduction to Database Oracle. So database, it's nothing but organized collection of structured information, or there are different definitions. Some set of related information is called database, or some set of records is called database, like this. For example, if it is a product database, what are the different information you can maintain? What is the product number? What is the product name? How much stock is maintained? That is a quantity. And what is the price of each unit? So like this, there are certain records has to be maintained. For example, product number 121, it's a Pepsi, 20 quantity stock is available. Each quantity price is 100. And the next product number 122, it's a Thumbs Up. Quantity stock is available 15 and each quantity price is 120 rupees. Like this, you can maintain some group of records. So this is nothing but a database. And come to the next one. What are the different, what is a DBMS? Database Management System. To maintain the data, we need some systematic procedures and commands. That is called a database management system. Or other definition, software designed to store, retrieve, define and manage data in database. Or it serves as an interface between database and end user. End user nothing but any person who is want to maintain the information in database. That person can call it as an end user. And end user data is well organized and easily accessible. Once the data is maintained in a particular database, it is easy to access instead of the information is maintained in a file system. Here I will discuss about the difference between a file system and the database system. In case of file system, it's not possible to maintain the structured data. Formatted data is not possible to maintain. For example, if you are using Notepad, is it possible to maintain like this? Product number, name, quantity, price. This data is maintained in organized form. Whereas once you go for a file system, it's not possible to maintain. That is one drawback in case of file system. And second drawback in case of file system is there is no security for the data. Suppose if you are maintaining the information in Notepad, let us say, where you are storing that information in local drives. If anybody is removed that file, your data will loss. So that is another drawback. That's why we preferred a database system. And come to the next point, what are the different data models? Models in the sense how the data is represented, how the data is organized. What are the different models are available? The first one is a hierarchical model, and the second one is a network model, and third one is a relational model, and fourth one is object-oriented relational model. And come to the first one, that is a hierarchical model. In this model, the data is organized in a tree structure format. So there is one root node is available. Under this there is a child nodes. Under each child node, again there are a number of child nodes. Like this, the data is organized. So in this case, what happened? I will explain with the hierarchical model with the help of a diagram. So I want to maintain the student information in particular style, so that how the data is organized in case of hierarchical model. So the topmost root node is a university, and the next one is what are the different centers. Centers in the sense locations which are affiliated to particular university. In each and every center, there are n number of colleges which are affiliated to particular university. And each college, they offer number of groups or branches. Based on the strength, the number of sections has to be created. And each section, there are n number of students. So this is the hierarchy which is maintained in case of a hierarchical model. So in this case, what happened? Based on the level, the complexity depends. In this model, how the data is retrieved, that is individual searching. Suppose if the data is depends based on the level. For example, university want to know about details about the students whose aggregate is more than 75%. So the 75% who are getting more than 75% may be available in any college, any center, any group, but the process of searching the data will be like this. First, it comes to center 1 and college 1, group 1, section 1. In section 1, is there any persons who are related, who are satisfying that condition? That is whose aggregate is more than 75%. Once the section is over, and it finished the section 1 and section 3 and so on. Once the group 1 is over, it will finish the remaining groups. Once all the groups are over, it goes to the second college, the control goes to, and all the colleges are over, next it goes to the next center. And finally, all the centers has to be send the information to the university. Let's just imagine how complex it is. That's it depends on the level of the query, level of the data, the complexity is depends. Suppose in the first level, so 0th level is the university, first level is the centers. Suppose the query will be like this: display the centers who are affiliated to particular university. That is the first level query. So that is there is no complex in that case. Suppose if the level is changed to second level, that is I want to display the colleges which are affiliated to particular university in all the centers. So it's somewhat complex like this based on the level. So once it goes to the different levels, the complexity has to be increased. That is a drawback in case of a hierarchical model. So in this hierarchical model, it's possible to maintain only 1 to n relationships only. That means one child node has only one parent node. For example, you can take the center one is a child node. So it has only university is a parent node, center 2. Whereas come to the center 2, it has a different colleges, but college 1 has only center 2, college 2, college 3. Here I am giving the college 1, college 2, college 3, but the names we can give it as a randomly. To understand the concept, I will explain with the work with the help of college 1, college 2, college 3, group 1, group 2, group 3. But the same now names are not possible to maintain. You can give the college names directly. Right. This is a drawback in case of hierarchical model. To overcome this problem, you go for a network model. Network model is nothing but it's an advanced version of a hierarchical model. In this case, what happened? It's possible to maintain one-to-many relationships, many-to-many, as well as many-to-one relationships. So to organize the data, it uses directed graphs instead of a tree structure. In case of hierarchical model, you can use a tree structure. Here, you can use a directed graphs. In this model, a child can have more than one parent. For example, let us say there are n number of faculties are there in the college. Maybe one faculty goes to only one department, or one faculty goes to multiple departments, or many faculties goes to many departments. It's a possible that is an advantage. Once such type of relationships are there between the objects, it's possible to access the data easily. That is one advantage. But maintaining the information in network model is complex, because to implement this network model, you can use the pointers. Working with the pointers is somewhat difficult in case of anomalies, insertion and then deletion anomalies. Suppose I want to delete faculty 1 in this case. Without, if there is no child nodes for faculty 1, it's possible to delete directly faculty node. So I want to insert one child node without parent node. That is insertion is not possible. It's complex. It's not. I don't say that it's complex. It's a complex. So that that is a drawback in case of network model. To overcome this problem, you can use a relational model. In relational model, the data is maintained in two-dimensional tables called relations. Rows are called tuples. Columns are called attributes. Whatever the diagram which are shown in a hierarchical model, same data you can represent it in two-dimensional tables. So here the university, center, college, group, section, student. So they are called column names. also called attributes, and whatever the data which is given. So this is JNTU, Nellore, MBK Colgate, and group is a CSCA section, and so on. So name, that is Ravi. These are called the tuples. So maintaining the information in relational model is called RDBMS. Maintaining the information in relational model is called RDBMS. So next point we can here we're going to discuss is what are the different RDBMS are available in the market. So Oracle, Sybase, Informax, Ingress, DB2, MySQL, and SQL Server. These are the different RDBMS are available in the market. Out of n number of RDBMS, Oracle becomes so popular because it has two reasons. It has its own built-in front-end tool. Front-end in the sense you can design the applications, or you can display the outputs, and you can represent the information in the form of charts. Like this, everything is possible. No need of depending on other products. That is one advantage. Whereas in case of Sybase, so you can create the database only. It's not possible to design the applications. If you want to design the applications, you must depend on other products like Microsoft product, Visual Basic. Like this, you can depend on other products. In case of Informax or Ingress also, by using COBOL, you can build the front ends. And DB2, you can use a Delphi. MySQL is open source database, but there are certain limitations. And SQL Server also, it has its own built-in front-end tool, that is a Microsoft product. Visual Basic is available, but the drawback is it's a platform dependent. That means SQL Server can execute only on a Windows operating system only, whereas Oracle, it can execute in Windows as well as Linux, Unix, and then Sun Solaris. That is one reason why Oracle becomes so popular. And second reason is you can convert one platform application into another platform. You can convert the one platform application to another platform. Platform in the sense operating system. Let us take one example. In previous few years back, I developed a project by using Oracle 6 version with Unix operating system. Now that project I want to convert into latest version of Oracle, like let us take Oracle 18 or Oracle 12G. Like this, I want to convert it to latest versions of Oracle. So, and operating system I choose as a Windows. If this facility interface definition language is not available, what happened? Again, you have to rebuild the project. Just imagine if it is if it is a situation rebuilding the project, how many months or how many years it will take. Again, you have to train all the programmers in the latest version of Oracle and the latest version of Windows operating system. Everything you have to train all the programmers. It will take more time and it's a cost effective. So that is a drawback in case of other RDBMS. So this is advantage in case of Oracle by using ideal interface definition language. So by using this language, by using only 4 parameters, what is a new version of Oracle, and what is a new version of operating system, what is the old version of Oracle, and what is the old version of operating system. These 4 parameters you provide. Just it's a matter of few hours. It will convert entire project into new version. So that's why Oracle becomes so popular. And once you can choose this Oracle, what is the elaboration full form for Oracle? Oak Ridge Remote Automatic Computing Logical Engine. So they are giving some name because of some reasons. I don't want to discuss all those things here. And come to once you can choose this Oracle is our RDBMS. What are the different products under this? So the first one is SQL. SQL is a common product for any RDBMS. It's available. Only thing is RDBMS to RDBMS, the syntax has to be different. And come to here, the first product is SQL structured query language. To perform the manipulations or to perform the transactions, you can use SQL. And second product is SQL Plus to set the displaying environment temporarily. like if you want to change the column headings or if you want to display the titles. Once you can exit from SQL plus, those temporary sections can be erased automatically, or there itself you can clear by using some commands. And the next one is the SQL Forms to develop the applications. That's why I told this SQL Forms, SQL reports, SQL graphics all together you can call it as a developer 2000 D2K, that is a front end. So by using SQL reports, it's possible to generate the outputs. By using SQL graphics, you can represent the information in the form of charts, like a bar chart, line chart, pie chart, like this in the form of different charts. Charts are easy to understand what data is maintained instead of studying all the records in a text mode. And SQLnet, it's for communication purpose. Come to this Oracle, all RDBMS are client-server databases. Client-server databases in the sense the data can be distributed in the network. How it's possible? That is possible with the help of a backend product that is called a SQLnet. It's for communication purpose between client and server as well as the server and client. That means once the client give any statement query, that query can be sent to the server and the server can process that command. It will give the response and it's sent back to the client. And the client is able to see the output. How it's possible with the help of this product only. And the next one is a Sql Loader to insert the bulk of records into the database at a time. Bulk of records into the database at a time, you can use a Sql Loader. So generally by using a DML statement insert, you can insert only one record at a time. Let us say my notepad contains some 10,000 records. All those 10,000 records I want to insert into a database at a time. For this purpose, you can use the next product, that is the Sql Loader. So anyhow, in this series, I will discuss about SQL and then SQL plus. I didn't go to the remaining products. And once you can choose this Oracle products, what are the rules and the regulations for Oracle database? It's not a case sensitive. That means you can use uppercase letters as well as the lowercase letters while using the commands. But while comparing with the data, you must take care in which case you are entering. Suppose if you are entering the data in lowercase, while comparing, you must compare with the lowercase only. But while you are working with the commands, it's not a case sensitive. You can use the commands in uppercase or you can use the commands in lowercase. And come to the tables and then attributes. What are the rules? The maximum number of characters for table name or attribute name are 32 characters. Special characters are not allowed except underscore. That means @ symbol and dots. These things are not available. And the next one is there is no gap between two words or two characters. For example, I want to give the attribute name or a table name as a student details. Student details must be single word. Student space details is invalid. If you want to give that, you can combine both the words by using underscore. Or you can go, if you want to give the gap, always using the gap is somewhat difficult. You have to remember, you can put the name in double quotes. And then next one is first letter must be alphabet. That may be attribute name or that may be table name. The first letter must be alphabet. There is no numbers. Once you can choose this Oracle row, once you are able to understand this data Oracle rules and regulations, to maintain the data, we need certain data types. So data types are the compulsory. They have to use either in languages or in database because they have to store particular type of information. So Oracle supports a huge number of databases, but in this video I will discuss what are the data types you are going to be used in our further sessions. Those data types only I will discuss because nearly some 400 to 500 data types are not supported by Oracle. All these data types are not possible to discuss in this video. That's why I will explain only a few data types which we are going to be used in further videos, in further lessons. Here the first data type is a character. The maximum number of characters which you can maintain is 2000 characters and a special 2000 characters. And the next one is a varchar2. The maximum size is 4,000 characters, that is 4,000 bytes. Here the difference between char and varchar is char is the fixed length. For example, if you are defining a name attribute with a character type with 15 characters, suppose if you are inserting the name as Ravi, Even though Ravi having only 4 characters, it will occupy 15 bytes. That is the fixed length. Same name attribute instead of character, if you are defining by using where character with 15 characters, Ravi having only 4 characters will take only 4 bytes. Suppose next name you insert the name as Kiran, Kiran having 5 characters, so it will take 5 bytes only. That means based on the information which you are providing, it will occupy that much space. That is the difference between a char and varchar2. Char is a fixed length, whereas a varchar2 is a variable one. And the next one is a number. It's a 38 digits including the decimal points. And the next one is a date. It's a fixed size, that's a 8 bytes. Default format is DD, MON, YY format only, you can insert the dates. And the next, even though if by using other conversion functions, if you are inserting the date in other formats, but it's stored in this format only, DD, MON, YY format only. And the next one is a long. If you want to insert the information more than 4000 characters, you can use a long data type. The capacity for long data type is a 2 GB. And the next one is a raw data type. The capacity is a 2 GB. And you can insert the binary information like images, audio files, and then video files. And the next data types comes into the picture. This logs is introduced in the Oracle 8 version. That is a large objects. There are 2 types of logs, character log as well as a binary log. Character log is the same as the long, binary log is same as a raw. That means by using character log, we can maintain a character based information. By using binary log, we can maintain the binary information like audio files, video files, images. Here for logs, the maximum capacity is 4 GB. And come to the difference between logs and long and raw is in case of long and raw, you can use it for only one column in a table. That means in a table, either you can use one long or one raw. Whereas comes to logs, in a table you can create any number of logs, even though the maximum capacity is the more compared with the long and raw. You can create the multiple character logs, you can create the multiple binary logs. So these are the data types which are going to be in the further sessions. And the next video I will come up with the SQL commands. So there we can discuss about what are the different categories of commands and how we can use the database. So practically I will show how we can export the commands in SQL, Oracle SQL, right?